Gaming is another dimension to which we escape to forget for but a brief moment all this world's hardships and agony. For but a brief moment, we forget all real life stress and commitments. Welcome to Gaming Escapism, and today we are going to escape to the world of Modern Warfare 2. This video is going to be a bit tough to talk about. Talking from the perspective of a new player about a 15 years franchise is not that easy. So in this video, I will talk about my experience as a newcomer who only played Modern Warfare 2019 before MW2, and provide you with my view on the game as a standalone with no comparison whatsoever to previous CODs. I remember when MW 2019 launched, and it received great reception from people. But then I refrained from purchasing it because in my head, it was probably a marketing strategy, and the game is like the others before it is actually bad. Although I fell in love with the graphics of the game and the dark tone of the colors, I still held my wallet close to me. 2021 hits and COVID takes the world by storm. Everyone is locked in their houses and I start watching streams of games since I got bored playing them. I see a stream of its multiplayer and I instantly fell in love with the game. Did a quick research and found out that the positive reception it had at the beginning was actually correct, and thus I decided to buy it. Although by that time the game's life cycle had ended. Cold War had launched by that time, and although no new content was being released, no season passes, no skins, no operators, no nothing, I still enjoyed the hell out of it. I played it a lot, and the dopamine was always rushing everywhere when I hit shipment, especially when I play it with my friends. It really hits different. From that point, I got why everybody loved COD. I got why there is an annual release with each one almost smashing records. I get why Xbox acquisition of a Blizzard Activision is shaking the gaming industry. It is because just like EA is best at what they do with FIFA, Activision is the absolute best when it comes to COD. And when it comes to COD, we are talking about the largest FPS game in the entire industry that no other company can clone. Then when MW2 was announced, I was determined to buy it. I don't usually pre-order, so I waited until it launched and got some fixes, and then bought it a month later. MW2 launch was a rough one, just like any other AAA game these days. It had a ton of bugs and crashes, a lot of missing content that was promised on launch, and not a very good collection of maps, and that made the players angry with the game. In this video, I'm going to cover all the game's aspects one by one and give you a comprehensible idea on the current state of the game. Don't forget to check the description below for the timestamps if you are looking for a specific section. Let's start with the guns. MW2 has a good variety of guns, ranging from ARs to shotguns to pistols. The armory could use a bit more pistols and melee and shotguns, but it's a good variety nonetheless. The gameplay without a doubt is top-notch and really great. It's not hardcore and it's not casual easy. It strikes a line between the two. Some guns require more recoil control than others. Attachments are still a great thing to do your own build to tweak the gun to your liking. For example, more recoil, more damage, less accuracy, less range, etc, etc, etc. And what's a good weapon without a nice skin on it? I was never a cameo person when I played 2019 due to the amount of grinding that was needed in order to get them. So I was satisfied with the multiplayer alone. But in MW2, cameos are not that hard to get actually. They still require grinding, but grinding 200 operator kills is doable and just require you to play the game. Now, we are going to go into the hot take of this video, the maps. So, the game launched with and currently include 16 maps, 11 with 6v6 and 5 with 32 versus 32. Now I myself am fine with the maps. Some are nice and unique, others are reskins of older maps, and others are total shit. It's a good amount with good variety. Of course, if you play 37 hours a day and 10 days a week, you will get bored, and let's face it, no amount of content will satisfy you. But if you play a couple of hours a day after a long shift, I think it's good variety and can keep you engaged for a while until some more are needed. For a $70 game, everyone was expecting some more maps than that. So yes, the overall state of the maps is acceptable. But will it still be in the future, especially with Season 2 delayed a whole month? Moving on to content, and this is where MW2 fails. The content of the game is not satisfactory. For a $70 game, You expect quite a handful of content, but in reality, we barely have any. The operators aren't that good, the skins are really boring, and the blueprints are the laziest stuff you can imagine, with some of them being directly the same as the original weapon, with one or two small colors changed and some random sliders hit. I really liked what they did to the Battle Pass though. Instead of a horizontal progression where you have to unlock a bunch of stuff before getting to what you want, you basically now can move in the direction you want to get the item that you need. It makes it easier, less time consuming, and actually somewhat engaging, thinking where you want to move in the Battle Pass and weighing down your rewards to see where is the best value. So that's a huge plus. You experience all that and more with exquisite graphics. The sharpness, the visuals, and the atmosphere of the game are really great. I have an RTX 3070 Ti along with Ryzen 5800 X3D, and I run the game on high settings. Now without DLSS, I can get 70 to 85 FPS. With DLSS put on quality, I get almost 100 FPS. So I'm going to say that the game is smooth in the optimization department. The game launched with a whole heap of bugs, but with the time of launching this video, most of them have been addressed and fixed, so I don't see any point talking about them right now. Talking briefly about the story of MW2. The story of MW2 is actually really good. I really liked it. I loved the atmosphere, I loved the conversations between the characters, and I loved the script. My only complaint is that this story is somewhat short. We are talking here about 6 to 7 hours of gameplay. So, if you are thinking of buying MW2 solely for this story, then I suggest not to do that. Because this story is short and $70 for 6 hours is not really a good. But what is a rose without its thorns? The game comes with barely any content other than the basic multiplayer mods, boring operator skins, sometimes really bad blueprints, delayed battle passes, and in return delayed maps. Their focus on Warzone had them somewhat neglect the game and treat it as a secondary one instead of a priority. Ultimately, buying the game will depend on you and what you need. If you are looking for a big chunk of content and stuff to chew through and grind to get, the game is not it. But if you bear with the game, enjoy its current mods and its current cameos and battle passes, and if you just want a game where you shoot people, play a couple of games of deathmatch or capture the flag, progress in the battle pass, and the cameos, then you are going to enjoy the game a lot. If I were you, I would wait for a sale to buy the game. The next one might be in mid-February with the launch of Season 2, as I don't see that the game is worth it on full price. The game is 50-50, so check if what you are looking for is in the positive side. This was it guys for MW2 review. I hope that you enjoyed the video and I hope that I gave you a clear idea on the current state of the game. Don't forget to hit the like button if you like the video, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.